This episode is brought to you by Undeniably Dairy. Dairy farmers are more than farmers. They're climate caretakers. They see water as a precious resource. Most farmers recycle water up to 4 times, from chilling the milk to irrigating the crops. And some even use technology to turn manure into renewable energy. To learn more about what dairy farmers are doing to make their farms more sustainable, visit usdairy.com.
This is the Mistress Carrie Situation Report for August 21st, 2023. Your daily entertainment headlines, industry info, and everything rock. In a new interview with NPR, Black Sabbath bassist Geezer Butler has opened up on his past battles with depression, saying, quote, "Well, I wasn't depressed all the time. Just the occasional bout would come after me. At first, when it was really getting bad, back when nobody ever said anything about depression or anything like that, and people were terrified to mention that you might be depressed because you automatically thought you were going to be taken away to a mental hospital and locked away forever. So you couldn't talk to people in case that happened. One day I got a really bad bout of depression and I went to the doctor and he said, oh, go down the pub and have a couple pints or take the dog for a walk or something. You'll be all right. And it was like, no, I'm not going to be all right. It doesn't work like that. And that kept happening. It wasn't until I think the 1990s, I was living in St. Louis at the time. I had a bit of a nervous breakdown. I went to the doctor, the usual doctor, and I explained everything to him. He told me that I was clinically depressed and he put me on Prozac. After 6 weeks, I finally came out of the depression and I thought, oh yeah, this is what I'm supposed to feel like, and ever since then, I've been okay. Pearl Jam guitarist Stone Gossard recently provided an update on the progress of the band's new album, saying in an interview, quote, "We're almost finished with the record. It's not quite finished yet, but it's almost there. We had a great time." Meanwhile, the band Third Secret, the new band featuring Kim Thayil from Soundgarden, Chris Novoselic from Nirvana, and Matt Cameron from Soundgarden and Pearl Jam, has shared a new performance video for the song Queens. The Queens performance video was filmed in Seattle on August 6th. The Strokes invited Regina Spektor on stage for a rare rendition of their 2004 collaboration, Modern Girls and Old-Fashioned Men, at New York's Forest Hill Stadium in Queens on Saturday. The reunion was not only notable for its meeting of 2 cherished hometown acts, but also the live revival of their duet that first appeared on the B-side of Reptilla in 2004. The Strokes and Spektor last performed the song in concert at the theater at Madison Square Garden in 2003. Pantera have been inviting special guests to sing their classic song Walk with them during the current North American tour in between dates on Metallica's M72 World Tour. This past Thursday, the band was joined on stage by Lamb of God frontman Randy Blythe and the longtime girlfriend of Dimebag Darrell, Rita Haney. The footage you can see online from the concert at the Cynthia Woods Mitchell Pavilion in Woodlands, Texas. Lamb of God are currently supporting Pantera on their headlining North American tour. George Corpsegrinder Fisher has just donated a bunch of stuffed animals to the Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital in Florida. Corpsegrinder collected the toys playing claw games during the band's tour, saying on social media that he brought 7 bags of plushies to the hospital in St. Pete, Florida. Quote, "A huge thank you to the entire staff. They gave us a certificate of appreciation, but in all honesty, they deserve one and much, much more for their tireless efforts to help children." This fall, Cannibal Corpse are going back out on the road, kicking things off in Nashville on September 22nd, wrapping up in Louisville, Kentucky on October 21st. The tour includes a stop at the Palladium in Worcester, Massachusetts on September 29th. After a half a century of touring, Devo have announced they're retiring from the road. 2 of the band's co-founders recently spoke with The Guardian about how time and varying opinions on creative direction have played a role in the decision. Saying, quote, "Imagine you had 4 wives and you work together. It's tricky being in a band." You can now brand your steaks with a new Slayer branding iron. The Meat Brander, which is currently available for pre-order on Slayer's official web store, will begin shipping in mid-October for the price of $75. And that's your sit rep. For more details on all of the stories, check the links in the show notes of this episode. And don't forget to follow and subscribe to the Mistress Carrie Podcast. New full-length episodes come out every Wednesday. Episode 167, featuring Richard Patrick from Filter, is available now.
Did you know the new National Army Museum in Alexandria, Virginia, was made possible by the generosity of grateful Americans? The nonprofit Army Historical Foundation led the campaign to build the museum, and they continue to ask for your support. Your generosity will go directly to the mission they have carried out for 40 years, ensuring America never forgets the service of our soldiers. Show your appreciation to all who have served by making a contribution to the Army Historical Foundation. Give today at armyhistory.org. That's armyhistory.org.